Pro-life groups are also urging the House of Representatives to take action. Here's what's going on that side of the Hill. Over a dozen pro-life leaders led by Heritage Action have asked House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and Minority Whip Steve Scalise to hold a vote on the Heartbeat Protection Act. Such a vote has not yet been scheduled. In addition, 7 pro-life members, led by Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, have introduced a bill that would call out the violent actions of pro-abortion groups Jane's Revenge and Ruth Sent Us as domestic terrorism. Joining me now for more details on House activity is Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona. Congressman Biggs, thanks for joining me. You are one of these 7 members who signed onto this bill that condemns the violent actions being carried out by Jane's Revenge and Ruth Sent Us. Now, so far, these violent groups have attacked over 100 churches and almost 40 pregnancy centers. Can you tell us more about this bill?
Yeah, the idea is that, you should be very careful when you label groups and individuals as domestic terrorists. But what you're seeing here is the attack on literally hundreds, over 100 churches and over 40 crisis pregnancy centers. What you're seeing is basically an organized attack by groups that have identified themselves. And that means that they're a cell or a terrorist organization. And if that's the case, this is a real domestic terrorism group, and they should be labeled such so that all of the resources of the federal government and the police apparatus of the federal government and the local and state jurisdictions should come together and be able to investigate and make arrests where necessary.
Very important legislation. We'll be tracking it. Many pro-life groups are calling for a vote on the Heartbeat Protection Act, Congressman. This bill, if advanced, would stop abortions at around 6 weeks when a heartbeat can be detected. And we know that we would need a majority in the House for this bill to go anywhere. But do you agree that that shouldn't stop pro-life members from bringing these bills to the forefront of debate right now?
Yeah, I've been an advocate for the heartbeat bill for a long time, and I think that we should bring it to the floor. Sometimes you bring things to the floor regardless of whether they are going to be defeated, because you have to have the debate on that very critical issue. Right now, you're going to have states, after the Dobbs decision, you're going to have states that still will allow abortion right up till the baby's born or in the birth canal even. Which is about as crazy as it comes. It's illiberal when compared to even some of the more liberal European states. I think that when people understand that a heartbeat is detectable at 6 weeks, that most Americans, I don't mean just a simple majority, I mean a super majority of Americans would say, well, look, you cannot abort a baby once a heartbeat's detected. I think we need to do it strategically and morally.
Right. And we know that overturning Roe simply returns the power to the states to determine their own abortion laws. We also know that in just these first couple of weeks since Roe fell, almost half of the states have now enacted or are working on legislation to basically ban abortion. Given that fact, do you think it's possible for us to see movement on federal legislation to ban abortion anytime soon?
I'm not very optimistic about that, and I'll tell you why. This is the left's hill to die on. They have been advocates to kill babies for literally 50 years or more. This is their hill to die on. So what they're going to do is they're going to do everything they can to prevent us from bringing the heartbeat bill forward, and they're going to keep fighting us tooth and nail. But I can tell you this: if we get the majority back, we need to do that immediately. And that should be one of the first bills we do and send it over to the Senate.
Yes, well, despite Democrat control right now, we're thankful for members like you who are fighting for that. And I also briefly wanted to get your thoughts on the recent deaths of over 50 migrants at the southern border who are being smuggled into America in a truck. You said on Twitter recently that the Biden administration's border policies are really to blame for this. They're allowing for human smuggling and gruesome deaths. So what do you think should be done?
Well, there's so much that we could do. The Biden administration is responsible for this because they actually, through executive order, eliminated the policies that were working. So you have to reinstate Remain in Mexico policy. Don't get rid of it. That's what they want to do. You have to expand Title 42, which allows us to remove people on health policy. You have to renew the asylum agreements that we had with the Northern Triangle states. You have to move people out who are here as, requesting asylum and not let them into the country in the first place, because the vast majority, almost 100%, just about 90 some odd percent of them are bogus claims. And so you need to move those forward as quickly as you can. And then you have to detain people as required under law. So you enforce the laws that are in place, which this administration has specifically told ICE and CBP not to do it. And they've, this is a tragic thing. You talked about the 52 people that were involved in that horrible death truck in San Antonio. But the reality, you have smaller groups like this almost every day all along our southern border. This has to stop. There are ways to stop it. This administration wants this policy.
Yeah, very tragic. Well, thank you for your insight on that and for everything that you're doing to protect life. Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona, God bless.
Thank you, Prudence. God bless you too.